All right, Taurus. Welcome to September 2025. This is your AstroNumerology reading, and we're going to start with the basic numerology reading introduction. So, September is the ninth month in a 9 year. Nine is the number of endings, right? Transformation, letting go of one thing, going into another thing. Nine is also representing the ninth house and the constellation that sits in the ninth house being Sagittarius, ruled by Jupiter. So the ninth house is about long-term education, right? Higher knowledge, seeking a guru, seeking someone to assist you, traveling to long distance, going to foreign lands, making those types of plans. Okay. So that's a general theme that is going to be associated with September for you. Endings can be in the form of mental endings, change in your thought process, change in a physical ending, such as the inability to use a portion of your body or the lack of a disease. Now, you had a disease and it's gone. All kinds of changes. So it's not just changes on the downside, it can be changes on the good side. You're no longer confined to your house. You have the ability to walk, whereas you didn't have the ability to walk. So endings representing a cycle concluding spiritually, physically, and emotionally. Okay. So keep that in mind as we go through the reading. Taurus, remember this is the rising. So rising means it's in your first house, your home. Taurus is that stable home energy associated normally with the fourth house for many people, only because of its stable factors. But in the astrological plane for the Vedic astrology, it is the second house, which rules the career, which indicates a person who might have a stable career. So they find something and they stick to it. So there's a general need to stick to certain things this year. So I have your chart pulled up in multiple locations on my computer. So I'm going to go through the energy that you're experiencing. I want to start with the fact that there is this K2 Mars, excuse me, K2 Venus and Mercury energy that is flowing together, and it is impacting everyone right now. So that being the case, you're going to see that energy show up in different parts of your chart. So let's go to September and look at the Venus K2 Mercury energy is in your ninth house. The ninth house, again, is about endings. This is historically where Sagittarius would be. And the Venus energy rules Mercury, and the Venus energy rules Gemini. I'm sorry, excuse me, rules Virgo, and I'm sorry, rules Libra and Taurus. What in the world? I'm having a moment here. So pardon me, that's a moment. So Venus is ruling your sign, Taurus, that kind of energy, which means your ninth house gets an extra boost of energy from that Venus that's there. So ninth house education, you might find something that you love to do. You might find a new spiritual path that resonates with you wholeheartedly, and you might find someone to teach you in that area. And that teaching might be something that you just really feel like, it takes you to a new level in life. The house, the astrological house that's there, the astrological constellation that's there is Cancer. Cancer is an intuitive energy, and it is also a home kind of energy. So this means that this time you could find something that resonates with who you are at your core. And then you can move forward with that, and it could take you through the rest of your days. The Mercury in K2 energy is in your 10th house as we start out, and it is joined by the sun. The sun, oh, the sun is this fiery kind of energy, this let's take action, let's get things done. And this is in your career sector, right? Because the 10th house in general is your career and things that give you long-term income. Mercury is a younger type energy, but it is also an energy of actions with plans. And the thing is that having the desire to do something, having a plan to do it, and then having the energy to execute it bodes well for your career, right? And those energies are together. For you, the 10th house is also the Leo energy, another action oriented energy. A little bit more in tune with what I need, what makes me happy. Is this career path for me? Is this where I need to go? Do I need to start something new? Do I need to let go of something in order to go to the next level in my career path? Those are the questions that you have as September starts. You will get your answer because K2 is also in that sector. And K2 reveals secrets. K2 reveals those things that you thought was nobody thought was going to come to light because they thought everything was going well, and case two comes and disrupts things. And that revelation that comes, that disruption that comes in this 10th house is going to propel you towards the next thing that's supposed to be coming in your life. And sometimes it's a matter of I need to have a promotion. Sometimes it's a matter I need to take a step back. Maybe I need to step down from whatever this is. Maybe I don't have enough balance in my home life. Maybe I need to take some time away from this career and focus on this other spiritual path that I think this path of enlightenment. Those are questions that you will be answering this month. The other energy that is riding together for everyone is the Saturn and the Rahu energy. The Saturn energy rules Capricorn and Aquarius, two other diligent workers, two other energies that, yeah, there's some sides that aren't necessarily good because, like Aquarius energy, sees the future, sees the vision, but sometimes because it's involved with everyone else and making sure everyone else is on board, the vision doesn't get executed. The Capricorn energy kind of can be dogmatic on some things because they have an idea of how things should be done. And unfortunately, the Saturn energy is an energy that is a slow progress type energy. So you got that slow progress energy. And for you, that's taking place in your 5th house. And the 5th house is normally associated with children, with learning, with education, but it is more of the teaching side than the receiving side. Remember, the 9th side is more of a higher learning, a spiritual enlightenment. So this might be in this Sagittarius, someone taking on a new role in educating the children or passing on knowledge, right? In some form. The 12th constellation of Pisces is in your 5th house. And Pisces is more of a energy in the 12th house associated with the culmination of endings in the sense that it is the last house before you transition out of this earthly plane, right? So Pisces is the one that's close to God, close to that next one. So perhaps you're going to look at, do I need to be teaching about my traditions, my ancestral generational traditions? Do I need to be passing that information along to the next generation? Do I need to be putting this information in the form of videos or books or oral traditions, something to that nature? Do I need to be becoming a guru of sorts or as a source of wisdom for people to come to in your circle, right? In the people within your family of life. You can also be looking at being a more of a counselor to the younger people in your life. Or you could be the person seeking counseling from a wiser person regarding your life, regarding your relationships, regarding your career, regarding your children, regarding your students. This is a energy associated with schools, right? So you can see more revelations into things that take place in schools. Now, with the Rahu energy there, is which Rahu is kind of explosive. That's what we saw with the recent, like the school shootings that we saw in August, because this energy was together in that sense. But the Rahu energy is on its way out. It's literally like 6 degrees on its way out. The Saturn energy is in, it's like 5 degrees in. So you might see something similar in say an explosive incident surrounding children, schools, and stuff like that. And this is all at the very beginning of the month that this is taking place. Now, let's move forward, get to the rest of the energy. Let's look at how this movement takes place over your next 30 days. So we got the Venus, the Mercury, and the K2 energy together, and then we have the Saturn and the Rahu energy together. And also the current dasha for the Taurus rising energy is Venus and Rahu. So the Venus and Rahu dasha means wherever Venus crosses or transits in this path, gets like an extra bump. So while we do have Venus transit is moving with Mercury with K2, you have Venus going around the different houses and other constellations. So at a certain point, it's going to hit Libra. At a certain point, it's going to hit Scorpio. So then it's going to bring a highlighted air attention to that area as we go forward. And this is really for you, for the Taurus rising. This is now through December of 2025, where that Venus and Rahu means you're going to have a lot of revelations about things. Because Rahu is also riding with the Venus on another level of energy. There's always multiple levels of energy at play. What I'm giving you is the major ones that, because you will feel those more, right? You feel all these other ones. You're always going to feel like this for you, Cancer in your 10th house. You're going to feel that at this point. But then you're going to feel that Mercury influence, that Venus influence, that K2 influence. There's a little bit of Mars influence as we go forward. Let's see. So as we're moving forward, Mars is, so there's a lot of action in the career that 10th house in the beginning, the whole first week. And some of that action is because you do have that K2 energy. It's just uncovering things. Maybe it's uncovering salaries and uncovering potentials within salary ranges as well. So we're going to move forward. And we move forward, and then we have this crazy thing that happens with around the 12th of the month. We have the Rahu Saturn energy forms this triangle energy with the moon in K2, right? And Rahu and K2 are the two parts that go together, right? Rahu is normally the top, K2 is normally the bottom when this energy, and they're both explosive energies that reveal things. I like to tell people that Rahu has a pretty face. Rahu comes in and pretends to be on your side, and Rahu is sitting at the table and it's like, yes, I'm happy to be here. And when you make Rahu upset, when Rahu realizes that you don't want Rahu at the table, Rahu explodes. And when Rahu explodes, K2 also comes out. And K2 is like the scorpion's tail, right? K2 is like stinging you, poisoned, like, being really aggressive with its attack. Rahu is more of a thinking, kind of the Mercury side of things. They're going to plan how they're going to get you. And this plan may be a long time in the making because the Rahu is with the Saturn energy. So the K2 is more of explosive nature, like, I'm going to get you, I'm going to poison you, I'm going to make life hell for you. Those type of secrets that come out, right? In addition to that, you now have the moon energy, which we all love the moon energy because the moon is insightful. But in this ninth month, the moon is also going to enhance that spiritual, intuitive nature. And you will have the ability to see both the Rahu and K2 energies that are at play if you take the time to pay attention to your subconscious. You have to get in touch with this. And this is that ninth house energy that I mentioned in the beginning, which talks about the actual enlightenment stage. The moon is the revealer of things in the subconscious, the hidden. And the K2 and Rahu energies are hidden things that can bring a little chaos, right? Now, sometimes, because Rahu did start out as an energy of, I'm going to help you out, sometimes that initial impression of Rahu, also as the North Node, is helpful, right? So it's helpful in a house until you kind of piss it off. So by being aware of these energies and the moon, mothering, intuitive, knowing energy at play with the Rahu and the K2 and the Saturn gives you an opportunity in those areas to uncover things that may be holding you back within your home life and your career life, with your children, and with your spirituality, with your thoughts about the future and how you want your life to look, because that's what this seems to be about. Taurus has always been focused on the home and pretty much day to day, not necessarily 5 years, 10 years, 15 and 20 years. And this shifts your perspective to how you want things to look a little bit further down the road, and what steps you need to take and what barriers you need to remove in order to get there. Your first half of the month is just coming with some energy here. Okay. And then we move forward. And as we move forward, let's see, going towards the end of the month, you do have the moon. It finally makes its way towards your 10th and 11th house around the 23rd. And if you watch my other videos, remember all of my energy is 3-day energy, either the day before, the day of, the day after. If you're not in Eastern time zone, you do have to adjust the energies to wherever you are, because my readings are based from the Eastern time zone, based out of the New York time zone specifically. So when the moon moves, the moon is going to be lined up with the Mercury and the Mars energy, and actually your 11th house, with a little bit of that energy reflecting into your 10th house, your career house. Now, remember, Mars is an action energy, moon is a revelation energy, and Mercury is a planning energy. So you got all of those things. So you have the ability to act on whatever plans that have come through the revelations that you receive. And you can act on them in the 10th house, which is the whole career sector, but also in the 11th house. And in the 11th house, that is a broader view. That is more, the 9 energy, by the way, is also a broader view, because the 9 energy in general is a humanitarian. So this energy allows you to focus on a more long-term, long-range plan that benefits beyond Taurus and the Taurus individual family. So that energy is coming. You may have some projects that can help you actually maybe help your community, help your church, help other people. There might be something that you can do to help, and you might come up with that idea, make a plan, and act on it around the 23rd of September. Moving on, any major the good news is you don't have any major health issues like showing up. There's some people have gotten some health things there. You don't have any major health issues showing up here. I would say that you do have that Venus. Remember, we mentioned the Venus again. You have the Venus energy that does move into the home space at the very end of the month. So, home is where the heart is, and it seems that you will need to spend some time resting and recovering at home and being with those whom you love. And that would be beneficial for you at the end of the month. There could also be just a general theme with this month, something with children and endings of relationships. You could have a child who perhaps goes off to college or has gone off to college, and now you have an empty room available in the house that you get to transform into something else. So let's look at your other chart. I did see one tiny, tiny, tiny little health thing. Um, but it's probably the health of a child or grandchild or someone who's more like a child figure in your life might have a few little revelations about some health items with them, not necessarily you. Um, could be you, or it could be something that happened to you from childhood that's showing up again. Just one tiny little piece, one little thing. Okay, so that's what I have for you for the month of September. If you like the video, leave me a message and maybe I'll make more of these videos for you guys. Take care.